For the past 2 years, I've been absolutely addicted to autocross racing, and I've really wanted to make a sort of primer video for those of you that would be interested in trying autocross racing for the first time. More recently, though, I've been following the work of a very talented driver and writer who has made it his job to grow grassroots motorsports and encourage new drivers. So, without further rambling, here are a few things to keep in mind when you jump into the world of autocross. Take it away, Matt.
Hey, Matt Covert here from Racers HQ Magazine, and I want to talk to you about the most underrated motorsport in history, autocross. Autocross is perfect for the aspiring race driver. The biggest obstacle that most amateur racers face is a small budget, but that's no longer a problem because most entry fees are around $50. You also don't have to worry about purchasing track insurance because you're covered under the sanctioning club's policy, and since almost any vehicle is acceptable, you can get started in your daily driver. There is no better place to learn about vehicle dynamics, advanced car control, and the limits of your car. Because autocross courses are made from traffic cones in large parking lots, there's no downside to exploring the upper limits of your race car. You approach the limit, you find it, you surpass it, you spin the vehicle, and you hit a cone. Big deal. Lesson learned in a safe environment with zero damage to property or ego. But the greatest thing about autocross is the lack of animosity between drivers. Because there's no money on the line, people are quick to help you out and teach you how to go faster. If you approach the fastest guy and ask for help, you'll get an instant ride-along and some incredibly valuable coaching and feedback, all for free. To help you get started, I want to give you my top 3 tactical tips for success at your first few events. Tip number 1, avoid getting wrapped up in vehicle tuning. Car modifications are fun, but they won't help you go that much faster. Focus on improving the driver instead of throwing shiny parts at the car, because performance parts will only make you a slightly faster, poor driver. Take the parts off again, and you're going to be slow. The only exception to this rule is a set of performance tires. While you don't need them to get started, you'll need them to be competitive. A good set of autocross tires will radically improve the traction of your vehicle and cut 1 to 2 seconds off your runs. Avoid brake upgrades, power adders, and exhaust upgrades. You don't need them and they'll bump you out of the street class, which I highly recommend if you're just starting out. Street class keeps you from spending a lot of money on your car and forces you to become a better driver if you want to win. Tip number 2. At your first few events, you'll probably have an instructor riding with you, but after a while, they'll cut you loose to race on your own. If you're smart, you'll keep seeking out these instructors for every single run for the entire season. Instructors are often the fastest drivers in the club, and you need to take advantage of their knowledge. They already know what you're trying to learn, so let them help you. Even after you move out of the novice division, you need to keep seeking guidance from people who are better than you. If you can't find anyone faster than you, you're not hanging out with the right people. As soon as you're competitive in a series, you need to move up to the next level. Competing with drivers who are better than you forces you to rise to their level. Keep finding the fast guys and keep getting their help. Tip number 3, make sure you have realistic goals. Autocross is a great springboard for a racing career, but even Randy Pobst, who eventually moved into professional racing, spent years perfecting his talent on an autocross course. Becoming an incredible driver is a process, so don't expect to show up and use your natural talent to wow the experienced guys. Show up willing to learn and you'll advance quickly. If you want to kickstart your learning speed, invest in educating yourself with racing theory. Read books by Carol Smith, Ross Bentley, and Henry Watts. Choose just 1 or 2 things to implement during your events to avoid information overload. So there you have 3 actionable, usable, tactical tips to help get you started in your autocross endeavor. For tons of free information about crushing it as an amateur racer, visit racershq.com.
Thanks again to Matt Covert. Please check out his site, follow him on social media, and check out his Racers HQ podcast. It's one of my favorite things to listen to in the morning on the way to work.